there, sexy angel faces. Alyssa Shell, back from the abyss, after what appears to be like a month and a half of dicking around and preparing for summer classes and more dicking around. And I'm back up in this bitch to lend you my thoughts on marriage. In case you've been living under a rock during the past 24 hours, you wouldn't know that President Obama recently just came out, and by that I mean he came out and said that he supported gay marriage, which is totally cool in my opinion, because I personally think that gay people deserve the right to marry and start families just as straight people do. And when I found this out yesterday, I just thought me and my mom were having a discussion, and we both thought that he just lost every old person vote, and he just lost every the vote of all the elderly people. And I just thought, why do they matter? They probably wouldn't be voting for him in the first place. They're always looking for a way to bring him down. I mean, seriously, ever since Obama came into office, people have always been looking for a way to tear him down just because he's black. No, wait, let me rephrase that. He's half black and half white, so one would think that they would at least be on his side since he's half white. And but no. Ever since the beginning of time, people will always find a way to bitch about other people's opinions. And yesterday I was watching JennaMarbles' recent video about her thoughts on marriage, and she, in her usual batshit crazy way, summed it all up. You shouldn't summed it all up in a nutshell. You shouldn't conform yourself to what society thinks, to what others think about marriage and shit. And she's right. What she said about and basically what she said about people her age and my age, like early 20s, mid 20s, and late 20s, they're being expected to get married so young so they can start a family just like their parents. Yeah, that's so not up my alley. And the reason I say this is because my parents were both 20 when they had me. And they got married 6 months. No. Yeah. When my parents were 20 years old, they were pregnant with me, and 6 months after they were married, I was born. And they had my brother 3 years after that. And so they basically just gave up their lives to provide for me and my brother. And that is something I'm totally grateful for. Because for some of you, because now that me and my brother are of age and we're discovering what the world is like on our own, this means my mom can just do the things that she never would have gotten to do when we were children. Let me just go back and start from the beginning. When I was 12, my dad was diagnosed with MS, and he lost the use of his legs when I was 14. And so for the next 7 years, my mom and me and my brother, we gave up our lives to care for him. And I was just so resentful. I'm not gonna lie, I thought, why can't we just put dad in a disabled person's home? This was way too much for us to handle ourselves. And mom told me that we have to do this because we're his only family. And we were his only family, and we were the only ones that he could count on. And I wish I could just go back and just smack my 14-year-old self for being such a brat about it, because I was just so mad that that my father, of all people, had to be afflicted with this disease that took away the basic things that he loved most. Like, he loved to drive, he loved to write, and he just loved to, he even loved to read. And, oh god. I didn't mean for the, I didn't mean for this to turn into my background story, but I'm trying to illustrate a point that if you get married at such a young age, you better be prepared to deal with whatever cards that fate lays out for you. Cause let me tell you something, fate is a motherfucker. It will just throw you for a loop that you will not expect, that neither of you will expect. And if you, the minute you say I do, you better be prepared to stick by your, you better be prepared to stick by your spouse through thick and thin. I tell you what. And you can't just expect others to just take care of your problems for you. You have to develop a spine of your own. And in seeing my parents work together in harmony to establish their family and to instill me and my brother with good morals and drive, made me realize that when I do get married, I want the same for my children. When I do get married, and I want to have children with my husband, because that's because I was raised in a loving household with two parents that actually knew what the fuck they were getting themselves into, and who were bust their asses to ensure that me and my brother would want for nothing. And like I said, I want the same for my children. Not right now, because I'm 21 and I haven't gotten all the crazy out of my system yet. So I guess to sum it all up, I'm a huge supporter of marriage. I believe that people who are truly in love with each other and care for each other and would do anything for each other should be allowed to tie the knot, and seal their commitment up in the form of their choosing. I mean, hell, if you want to be with more than one person, go right ahead. Just make sure that everybody knows what they're getting themselves into. Just just don't expect others to conform to your beliefs. That's all I'm saying. I wasn't trying, like I said, wasn't trying to turn you on, wasn't trying to alienate anybody with my life story, and but I hope they provided you some insight on how I feel, and um, just leave your thoughts below on how you feel about marriage, and we'll take it from there. Till next time, I'm Melissa Shell, and I'll see you in hell. Deuces.